chosen ones, empaths. This is quite a sensitive topic, right? And I'm not gonna trigger anyone here, or I'm not judging anyone here, right? I know that in general people can break up in life, and you know, you might have kids with the individual, and in a normal relationship dynamic, and then both partners may move on and find someone else, and it can be quite healthy, right? So there'll be a stepmom or a stepdad or whatnot, and it can be relatively healthy. But what I see in my story, and what I've noticed in other people's stories, is the narcissist will actually destroy the lives of not only their partner, but also their children. So this is kind of aimed at people that have gone into a narcissist life, and maybe they had elder children or young children, and you've kind of played the role not as a parent, but you've done your bit. I'm not saying that you took the place of the child's biological parent, but you kind of slipped in and kind of focused on their life and helped them out in their life, right? And the thing is, you kind of maybe bond with those children. Maybe the children might resent you at first, when they see that someone's with their dad or their mum. The children might resent you at first, but sometimes the children come around, and in a healthy dynamic it would work out fine. But when it comes to a narcissist doesn't care about the repercussions and the damage, especially to young children, it does about bringing characters into their life when, the child might not even know their own real biological parent, whether it's father or mother. And the narcissist is happy bringing a stranger into the home, right? And this is kind of aimed at people that maybe are dealing with their ex-narcissist bringing new people into the home around their children as well, because it's traumatic for both parties. It's traumatic for the children because you don't know this person from Adam, and it's also traumatic if you're a parent and you've got to put up with, could be proper weirdos around your children. But the narcissist just doesn't care. They will destroy the lives of both people, And I'll touch on my circumstance. I was duped in my situation with the narcissist. I met the narcissist and she was quite ill, and she played on the sympathy card, which reeled me in. Otherwise, I would have never settled for that piece of trash. Like, when I look at it in hindsight, hindsight's an easy, wonderful thing, but when I look at things in hindsight, I would have never settled for that trash had it not been for them playing with the victim role. And they kind of said to me when I met them, when I used to visit them in hospital and stuff, and I was trying to do good deeds, and I would maybe bring them some chocolates and some stuff and some comforts while they're in hospital and stuff like that. And they complain that their mum doesn't let them be a mother and stuff. And me, like a stupid young, I was in my early 20s, and I kind of, not straight away, but I said, because they were unable to do the duties that they need to carry out as a mother, I kind of said, look, I can kind of get your house in shape and stuff like that. I don't want to be involved in your child's life. I don't want your child to see me because it's too soon, but I don't mind being in the background helping out and stuff. And they kind of lured me in. And I remember one day, so I was doing this, helping them out of their house and stuff like that. But their whole idea was to bring that child around me. That was their whole object in their mind. They wanted to bring that child around me. And what I'm saying is after maybe a year or so, a couple of years, now about a year and a half, about a year, you know, they brought the child around, and I said, they took it as a disrespect. When I was saying that I don't want to be involved in their life, they were taking it as a disrespect, and they wanted to make the dynamics of bringing the child in to the life of me, right? But what, like, this is why I'm saying the child was young as well, and this is what I'm saying. They don't take into an account the damage it will do to the child. Now, I remember saying to the narcissist, you should get in touch with the father of the child so the child has a relationship with their father, because they ran away from the father. And now I look at it now, I was told that, you know, that the biological father was abusive and etc. and this and that, and that's why they done it. And I believed it at the time, but now I know that's lies, and they probably captured the guy's seed and then ran off to traumatize him, so he's living in a world without his child, right? And you know, I did bond with the child to a certain extent, but I'm trying to say they damaged the life of the child by bringing the child around me, which is dangerous for the child at a young age. And they just don't take any consideration to either party. So that's why I'm saying, and I know for those of you that are, you know, you're maybe a parent and your child is in a household with the narcissist and a new supply, you know, it's not good, you know, because I've been there on the other side of the fence, and it's not good what they're trying to do, because they try to make you play a role. They'll try to, you know, and the narcissist has no care or consideration whatsoever about any party that's involved. Whether you're the parent that's not involved in living with your child anymore, and your partner, your ex-narcissist, has moved on with a new supply, and you're on the outside, and you're like thinking, how, you know, all of this stuff must be rushing through your head. It's dangerous as well, because you don't know what the stranger is. Like, I'm a decent person, but I might not have been a decent person. You see what I'm saying? If I wasn't a decent person and the narcissist just brung me around a child, it's dangerous. It's a dangerous situation. You know, with pedophile. I don't want to trigger anyone here, but you know, pedophiles and weirdos that are in this world. You know what I mean? Like, it's dangerous for that. And the narcissist just has no insight, care, consideration, and they just, you know, this has an impact on especially young children. If the children are older, it can still have an impact on them, because they've grown up their whole lives with their mum and dad, and then all of a sudden there's a new character on the scene, and it's like, oh, hang about, who's this new character on the scene? You know what I mean? And it's hard for them to adjust. And I just think it creates a real toxic environment when families bring other people involved and people start moving on. And, you know, if you've had children and stuff, part of your job is done here on earth. You've already reproduced. So I'd say things like relationships and that come secondary. It's not so important anymore. You've already been here, done it, wore the t-shirt. It's not so important. Like me, for instance, I haven't had a child, but I would love the opportunity to have a child one day if the right person comes into my life. But, you know, for those of you that are parents, you've already done a huge part of the work, and you don't necessarily need to worry about relationships as such. And I know you might feel lonely at some times and stuff like that, but you have already done a big, huge part of what this life's about reproducing. And that you should be maybe focus your energy into your children's lives and stuff like that. If your children are older and grown and stuff like that, then maybe, you know, but don't be rushing into any relationships too quickly with anybody, because like, if you're seeing the narcissist rush into a relationship with a new supply, and they're around your children and you're not the primary caregiver, that can be really triggering. My heart goes out to you because it must drive you crazy. But you've just got to understand, you're dealing with a devil. You're dealing with someone who doesn't care about destroying their children's lives. And I would always advise, if you've got young children, try to look into parallel parenting, because parallel parenting, right? Because you can't co-parent with a narcissist. I don't think it's possible to co-parent with a narcissist. If you're trying to co-parent with a narcissist, it just doesn't work. And I would advise to do parallel parenting, and it's where you meet at a neutral location, and you meet and you exchange the child. I think you only communicate via an app, and you don't communicate by the phone anymore. And if you cut their supply, that's what I'm saying, of the narcissist being able to reach out to you through the phone, etc., etc., and it's only through an app, you kind of you win the battle. And then you can raise your child in how you want to raise your child in that way. And then with the narcissist will raise the child in how they want to raise a child. But God's going to show the child that you're the right one. You know, a lot of us chosen ones and empaths are labeled the bad parent. We get labeled the bad parent when we wasn't necessarily the bad parent. And that's the shame of it. You know, there's so many people that haven't been in their children's lives for a long, extended periods of time, and they've been labeled as they may have had a slight problem, maybe alcohol or, drugs, or they might have had a slight problem, addiction or something, but they're really, it's blown out of proportion, and they're labeled a really bad parent, and it stains the child's mind. The child, when at a young age especially, will grow up resenting that parent, thinking, oh, you wasn't there, you ran out on my mom, or the dad, the mom ran out on the dad, or whatever. You'll grow up thinking this stuff as a child, and this is what I'm saying. They just have no care or consideration when dealing with it. So you've got to try and work out a master plan in how you can prevent them destroying the lives of you and your children. I know that this narcissist is going to be around in your life. Now, if you've had children, unless you totally disembark onto it and cut yourself out. But most of us as empaths and chosen ones, I don't believe would want to do that. And I just don't think that co-parenting with a narcissist works. So please look into parallel parenting. I've heard it work. Even the threat of parallel parenting can maybe shift the narcissist into gear to start cooperating more. Even the threat of it. Because this co-parenting, I just don't think it works with a narcissist. They're toxic, and I know people see their children as extensions of themselves, but it's also a narcissistic trait. They say the narcissist they try to live vicariously through their children as such. It's very narcissistic to live vicariously through your children. This is what I've heard, and this is what they tend to do with their children. They're really messed up, proper weirdos, man, dusty weirdos, man. But let's try and work out a master plan in how you can prevent, or at least administer some sort of aid, a band-aid, a plaster, healing towards your child's wounds that they're facing through you not being around and stuff like that, and make that your priority. Don't worry about relationships if the narcissist has rushed them with some new supply. It's probably not going to last anyway, and they've probably downgraded because you was way out of their league to begin with. So anyway, I hope this video shed some light on it. I know it was a bit scrambled, but I hope you got the gist of the message. It is a very touchy subject. It was I kind of hesitated about talking about this, but I hope it shed some light on for those that needed this video topic. So anyway, thank you for watching today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you would like to donate to the channel, you can find the link in the description box, and if you would like a one-to-one session with myself, you can also find the link in the description box. Currently I have the secondary channel, the spiritual channel. If you want to check that out, the link for that channel is also in the description box. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.